Thank
Woo!
you.
All right.
Woohoo! Awesome. Good morning. Welcome to Saturday morning yoga. Thank you so much for joining me today on the mat. It's always such an honor to guide you through practice today. Awesome. Okay. Yes. Welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started standing today at the top of the mat. We'll start standing, feet about hip distance, just really grounding into the floor here through all four corners. On the inhale, feeling the spine lengthen, crown of the head reaching high. Just welcoming a deeper, more aware breath here. Filling the body with oxygen before slowly exhaling all of the air out. Another deep inhale here, filling the lungs, entire body. Hold the breath in. And a slow exhale out. One more deep breath will once again fill the body with as much oxygen here. And hold the breath at the top. Letting the breath move through you, expand through you, settle into the body. And a slow exhale out. We're gonna just start into the head here, just gently allowing one ear to fall to its shoulder, rounding the chin down, and taking the opposite ear to the other shoulder. So just kind of moving the head and maybe taking the head all the way back if it feels okay. We're gonna come back through center here and just round into the shoulders. We'll switch direction, just drawing the shoulders up and forward. Beautiful. Really sink down here. We're going to bring our hands to our low back. Draw the elbows and shoulder blades together as we shift the hips forward. Gentle back bend, heart opening here. We'll inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Interlace the hands, turn those palms to face up. We stretch it up high. And on the exhale, take a side bend over to one direction. Gazing up here underneath of the armpit. Stretch it out. And we come back through center, take it to the other side. Inhaling back through center. We'll press onto the toes here. Standing high on the tippy toes. Engaging through the legs. Inhale, lengthening. And we'll exhale, release the heels down, bend into the knees as we fold the chest forward. Forward fold. Here we might pedal out the knees, bending and straightening into one knee at a time, letting the upper body be super heavy. On the inhale, we'll halfway lengthen, straighten through the knees, halfway lift. And exhale, take a forward fold. Once more, maybe grabbing opposite elbows here, sway it out. We'll inhale, release the elbows, bend through the knees, round through the spine, all the way up to standing. Hands come to the low back. We once again do a gentle back bend here. Maybe the hands draw a bit down the back of the legs. We open the chest here, shift the hips forward. And come back through center. We'll reach the arms overhead, pressing the palms up to the sky. We take a side bend to the right. And take it back through center. Take the side bend to the other side. Back through center, we'll press up with the toes, lifting the heels off the ground. We come onto our tippy toes, press it up high here. And we'll exhale, release the heels down, bend into the knees as we fold the chest all the way forward into a forward fold. We'll step the feet wide here, so maybe just heel toeing the feet wider, pointing the toes out. We're just gonna add some movement, sitting the hips down and pushing them back up. So kind of coming to prepare for a low squat here. We just lift and lower. Oh, yes. We'll sit all the way down into a squat here. Use our elbows to push the knees away. Sit up tall through the crown of the head. We lengthen. And we'll exhale, release the hands down, lift the hips, and stand all the way up. You can turn the toes forward. Our feet will kind of stay extra wide here. Perfect. We'll start with our hands on our hips and just round through their hips, circling it out. We'll switch direction here. Coming back through center, we'll take our gentle back bend. Hands on the low back, on the glutes, or down the leg here. We push the hips forward, squeeze shoulder blades, elbow as we open the heart. Breathe into the heart space. And we'll come forward. This time we'll come into a T with the arms, bringing them out to the side here. We're going to fold and twist, bringing the hand to the opposite foot or even outside of the foot. Really twisting open here, the top arm reaches behind you. We'll come up through center and take it to the other side. Yes, big reach. And come up through center, hands come back to the low back. We take a little back bend, inhale. We come forward, spread the hands long. We'll twist down, left hand to the right foot. Inhaling back up, take it to the other side, right hand to left foot. We twist. We come back through center here, hands to the low back, shift the hips forward. We take a gentle back bend. Wonderful. We'll come back through center, bring our hands to our heart center. We're going to sit our hips down into a squat. Take that opposite shoulder to the knee. So opposite elbow to the knee. So we'll sit down into a squat. Take the left elbow to tap the right knee or take it outside of the knee. Get a deeper twist. We'll come back through center. Take the right elbow to the left knee as we take a low squat. Twist. We'll come back through center, take a twist to the other side, sitting low into a squat, and we'll stand back up. We go one more time, sitting down into a squat, right elbow to left knee, take a twist, and we'll come back up through center. We're going to bring our feet together here, standing at the top of the mat. We'll take some sun salutation. Inhaling, reaching arms overhead, lengthen. Exhale, we take a forward fold. On the inhale, we halfway lift, lengthening long through the spine. Exhale, we plant the hands, step the feet back into plank. Holding plank here. We exhale, lower, chaturanga push up. On the inhale, we pull up and open with the chest, upward facing dog here, cobra. Breathing into the heart, letting those shoulders fall away from the ears. Feel the chest sliding in between the arms, pulling forward, shoulder blades squeezing together. We have our glutes squeezing to allow us to go into a deeper back bend here. We breathe and then tuck the back toes, let all of the air out as we push our hips back into downward facing dog. Let's just pedal the feet out here, add some movement to our downward dog. Before settling in, really lifting those hips as high as you can. Dropping the chest towards the ground, taking a nice deep inhalation. And an open out mouth exhale, let it go. We're gonna take some spinal waves here. We'll spinal wave forward into plank and then shift the hips back. We wave it back into downward dog. We wave it forward into a plank and roll that spine back into downward dog just like that. Few more times here. Rolling into plank, taking it back into downward facing dog. Oh, relax. That's it. We'll roll it forward once more into plank. We're going to come down onto the forearms from here. And we're taking some dolphin planks. We're going to drop the hips low, low plank. And we pick the hips up, piking the hips into dolphin pose. So we'll go ahead and lower the hips, lengthen, and lift the hips up into dolphin pose, lower and lift. We lower and lift. One more time here, we lower into low plank. And we'll drop our knees here. We're going to come into a little puppy pose. Just drop the chest forward, reach the hands in front of you. We take a puppy. Breathe. And we slide the hips all the way back on the exhale, releasing into a child's pose. Reach those fingers in front of you, or maybe bring them by your side. Just taking a moment to reconnect with the breath here. We reconnect with our awareness. Notice how the body's feeling. From here, we'll go ahead, tuck the back toes, lift the knees off the ground. We're going to go through a little slow-mo half sun salutation. So we'll come back into our downward dog to start. We're going to inhale, push forward into a plank. Hold our plank here. We hold for 5 breaths. Just finding your form, being strong through the shoulders here. We take one more breath. On the exhale, we'll bend into the elbows. Feel free to drop the knees here. We come find a low push-up. We hold the low push-up. Holding here, so maybe your knees are off the ground for extra challenge. Hold it here. You got this. And we'll drop the hips, pull the chest forward and up. Holding it here, just kind of breathing extra air into this space, into the abdomen and the heart center. Let your body settle into this posture. Taking a nice deep inhale, on the exhale, we'll tuck the back toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Wonderful. Stretch it out here. We'll lift the heels, bend the knees, and step our feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, rounding it all the way up to standing, arms overhead. And exhale, arms by your side. Let's go for another full round of sun salutation here. We're going to inhale, ground through the feet. We reach the arms overhead. On the exhale, we'll fold it forward. On the inhale, we'll halfway lengthen, find a flat back. Exhale, we fold, plant the hands, step the feet back into our plank. Let's inhale, lengthen. On the exhale, we lower chaturanga. Inhale, push that chest forward and up for our upward facing dog. Exhale, we find downward facing dog. Yes, just getting into the flow. On the inhale, we'll lift the heels, bend the knees, step or float the feet towards the top of the mat. We'll inhale, reach it all the way up to standing. And release. Awesome work here. We're going to go ahead into our standing flow. So we'll start with a balancing tree pose. You can take this with your foot right against your ankle, toes still planted on the ground. You could take the foot into the calf, or skipping the knee joint, we take the foot all the way inside the upper thigh here. So just anywhere along the leg that's not on the knee. We'll come to squeeze everything together here, standing tall like a tree, embracing all of the amazing qualities the trees have of support and shelter, providing this comforting and grounded, tall, expansive. Squeezing here, hold this tree pose. And we'll release this bent knee forward. We hug this knee kind of towards the chest as we circle the ankle. We'll switch direction. And from here, we send this front knee, straightening it. We're sending it all the way back behind us, coming into our Warrior 3 airplane, maybe spreading the hands out wide. We tilt the body down to come parallel to the ground. We're making a T shape with the body here. We bend into the front standing knee, ground that back foot behind, coming into here, a high lunge, engage through the back leg, find your form here. Perfect. We're going to add some movement. On the inhale, we lengthen through the front knee. On the exhale, we bend into the front knee and we take a twist. You're twisting towards the front bent leg. So for me, I have my left knee in front, so I'll be twisting towards the left. We inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend and twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend and twist. We lengthen. One more time here. We bend and twist, sit low into this twisted lunge. We're going to bend at the front elbow, take it outside of the front left knee. And we take a twisted lunge, hands to prayer and heart center. Maybe you open the hands out wide. We'll ground through both hands, coming to frame the foot, and we drop the back knee down. Let's just take a moment to sink the hips forward here. Feel free to use some blocks by your side here, too, for these next postures, or books if you'd like to rather use books. Anything that you can kind of use to prop your hands up to elevate your hands here. We'll sit into a lunge. And then we'll push the hips back, straightening through the front knee here. We're coming into a half split, really making sure we lengthening long through the spine, trying not to round through the back too much. We flex the toes lots here. We'll inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Just a few deep breaths here. Really draw that right hip forward. Make sure the hips are square. We'll tuck the back toes straight in through the back leg. Coming into pyramid, you can kind of point the front toes down here. We'll leave the right in hand, so the opposite hand has the foot in front grounded. And we reach that other hand up to the sky. So for me, the left hand comes up to the sky. I reach the hands down, back in pyramid. I'm going to bend into the front knee, ground through the back foot, pivoting that foot so the toes point towards the long side of the mat. I inhale, reach And cartwheel my hands up into warrior two, sinking low with the hips, keeping the shoulders stacked over the hips. We stand tall and get low in the knee. Yes, this is our warrior two here. Just take a moment to settle in, find some beautiful warrior two posture here. We'll send the right hand down the back leg, reach the left fingertips over, peaceful warrior. We'll exhale, come forward with the left forearm, dropping the left forearm on the front knee. The right hand reaches over the back hand, and we're in a side angle. Maybe you drop this bottom hand inside of the foot to go a little bit deeper here. Think about stacking the shoulders, gazing up. Perfect. We're going to inhale, come back up into our warrior two, just adding some gentle movement. We're going to straighten through the front knee and bend into the back knee, and then switch. We straighten the back knee, bend the front knee. So we're just moving here, bending and straightening into our knees. Yes, just kind of take an extra moment then to straighten, to bend through the back knee, straighten the front knee. We take a little side lunge stretch. And we'll come forward, standing straight with both knees. Turn the front toes to also point towards the long side of the mat. We pigeon toe those toes towards each other. Lengthen long on the inhale. Exhale, we take a fold forward. Forward fold. Maybe move the hips a little bit side to side. Maybe bending into one knee, bending into the other knee, skatering. So just adding whatever movement feels good for you here. Maybe just finding stillness in a wide-legged fold. We'll come back through center. Just relax once more into the wide-legged fold. And we'll inhale, reach the body all the way up. We turn the back heels in, toes pointing out. We'll inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, sit the hips nice and low. Push those knees away from each other here in our horse pose. Tucking the pelvis, standing nice and tall. Take a nice deep breath and a slow exhale out as you sink the hips a little deeper. We'll inhale, press up through the knees, straightening. The front toes will turn forward. The back toes turn about 45 degrees. We square the hips forward here. Reach the arms up, bending that front knee 90 degrees. We'll bend into the elbows 90 degrees, squeezing the shoulder blades and cactus arms. We'll interlace the hands behind the back. Draw that fist behind the back. Open the chest here. Perfect. Releasing forward from here. I'm kind of blinking for a moment. Just indulge in this beautiful warrior one. Oh, that's right. We're going to come down with the hands here to frame the foot, and we're going to drop the back knee, kind of shift, pivot the back toes to put forward, drop the back knee. Let's just sink forward here into our low lunge. Yes. Just take an extra moment to get nice and deep in this lunge. And we'll come into a pigeon stretch from here. So we'll plant the hands and we're going to draw this left foot across the mat. So this left or front leg is bent in front of us. We're coming into pigeon. Maybe that front foot needs to come back towards you, towards the opposite hip. So you can sit nice and low here in our pigeon. Our hips are rounding down towards the ground. And we'll inhale, reach up with the chest. Maybe do a gentle back bend, maybe reach back with the hands here. Inhale And we'll exhale, walk the hands forward, release the chest down, take a fold here in our pigeon. We'll inhale, press the body back up, lengthening. We're going to press into the hands here and straighten through this front knee while keeping the leg crossed over the body. So here we pick the hips up, straighten through that front leg. We keep the foot crossed over the body. We square the hips down. So we're really trying to feel this in our IT band here. Nice. We'll take twists both ways here. So first time, the right hand, the opposite hand as the foot across will stay grounded. We reach the left hand up to the sky. Next, we reach the left hand down and we pivot open with the hips. The right hand reaches up. Yes. Right hand grounds. We'll step this left foot back behind us into our downward facing dog. Take that foot all the way up to the sky into a three-legged, stretch it out. Maybe bend the knees, stack the hips. Maybe draw some circles with the knee. And release it back down into downward dog. Taking a nice deep cleansing breath here. Oh, we'll inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, step or hop our feet up to the top of the mat. Grounding, we'll inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, release. We're going to take this onto the other side. So last time I started my tree pose with my right leg. So I'm going to switch to using my left leg. So coming into tree, our weight shifts onto our right foot. We take the other foot maybe inside at the bottom of the ankle, maybe at the calf, or maybe at the inside of the thigh. We squeeze here, lengthening, just rooting through the feet here. If you come out, just come right back in. That's okay. And we'll release this bent knee forward. We hold the knee, circle the ankle. We switch direction of the ankle circle. And we'll release this front knee. We send that knee, straightening the leg, send the foot all the way back behind us. We're coming forward with the chest right into an airplane. I'm going to turn here. We come right into an airplane pose, straightening through the base leg. We'll bend into that standing knee, drop the toes behind, and lengthen here into a high lunge. Perfect. So nice and deep bend into the front knee. Active through the back leg. Here we'll inhale, lengthen through the front knee, straightening. On the exhale, we bend into the lunge while taking a twist to the right. We inhale, reach it up high. And exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach it up high. Exhale, twist here, get nice and low. We'll take that front left arm. We take the elbow outside of the knee here. Hands come in prayer. We twist our heart open just a little bit more, gazing up. Maybe opening the palms away from each other. We'll come back through center. We're going to drop the back knee behind us. Just plant those hands on the ground. Take a moment in low lunge. Before shifting the hips back, we straighten through the front knee. We come into our half split. I like to use blocks for this pose to really help me lengthen through my spine here. We'll take a nice breath before folding a little bit deeper over the straightened leg, flexing the front toes. Just using your breath to help you relax here. We'll tuck the back toes straight and the back knee. You can kind of drop the front toes down here. We're just in a little bit of a pyramid. The left hand will stay grounded. We'll reach the right hand up to the sky. We'll come back through center. Just take a fold forward here. And we'll bend into the front knee. We're going to pivot the back foot to ground it, toes pointing towards the long edge of the mat. And we cycle, cartwheel the arms up into warrior two, finding a nice, strong, comfortable warrior two here. Elbows straight, shoulders drawing away from the ears, sink nice and low into the front knee. We'll draw that left hand down the back, reach the right fingertips over, peaceful warrior. And we'll exhale, release the right forearm down onto the right thigh, reach the left fingertips over. We take a side angle, stacking, shoulders gazing up. And we'll come all the way back up into our warrior two. Here's where we start to add some movement, straightening the front leg, bending the back knee, and then switching, moving forward and backwards here. Just shifting the hips back and holding for an extra moment, kind of tilting over the side a little bit. We'll come forward once more into our warrior two. We'll straighten the front leg, turn the front toes towards the long side of the mat. I'm going to turn to face you. We take a wide-legged forward fold here. Pigeon toeing the feet. Take a nice breath. And we'll inhale all the way up to standing. Turn those heels in, toes point out. We sit the hips down into our goddess pose. Woohoo! So just finding a nice comfortable bow with the hips, knees pulling away from each other. One more deep breath here. On the exhale, see if you can sit just a little bit deeper. We'll inhale, press it back up to standing. The front toes turn forward. The back toes turn about 45 degrees. We come into a warrior one here, bending into that front knee. We'll cactus the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Beautiful. Drop the hands behind the back. Take the fist. Draw that fist down as the chest opens up even more here. Perfect. Release the hands. Drop the hands onto the mat. We pivot the back toes forward and drop the knee into a low lunge. Oh, yes. Thinking those hips. Let's just soak up this low lunge extra moment. Wonderful. We're going to shift into our pigeon from here. So planting the hands, you might have to just lift the foot, or you can kind of heel toe it towards the other side of the mat, towards the opposite side. We drop the knee down here, the shin drops. We're sitting into pigeon. Yes, rolling the hips down towards the ground. You can even kind of sit a block under that bent leg hip, the front bent leg hip. We'll walk the hands back here first. Lengthen, take a little back bend. Inhaling and exhaling, we walk the hands forward, releasing into a pigeon, sleeping pigeon, folded. Relax here. Just enjoy this nice, juicy stretch. And we'll plant the hands. We're going to keep this left foot or right top front foot crossed Across the body, we'll straighten through the front knee as we lift the hips up. We keep that front leg, as I said, straightened and crossed over the body. We're trying to roll the hips down and feel this along the outside of the leg. And a stretch here. We'll leave the left hand planted, reach the right hand up to the sky. Switching hands, the right hand grounds, the left hand picks up, we pivot open, and we ground through the left hand, step this front foot back into our downward facing dog. Beautiful work here. We'll go ahead and walk the hands and feet in together. We're gonna open the feet out wide, kind of turning the toes out. We'll sit the hips down, coming into a squat position here. Maybe just move a little bit with the hips side to side. Maybe noticing how you feel now compared to the squat at the beginning of the practice. We'll release the hands here, come onto the knees. We're going to take a hero's pose. So our sit bones kind of come in between our feet. Our feet come to the outside of our hips here. And we're just going to walk the hands back behind us and kind of tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes here. See if we can get a nice stretch throughout the hips and the quads. Yes. You can even come back onto your forearms as far as feels comfortable for you. Just allowing the body extra moment to relax, to release. We'll inhale, come back up into seated. We'll stand up kind of on the knees here. We're going to take our hands to our low back, do a gentle heart opening camel pose. We'll squeeze the shoulder blades and elbows together as we shift the hips forward. Breathe here into the heart space. And if you want, you could tuck the back toes and bring your hands to the back of your heels here. Yes, to help you. You have two options with the head. You can let the head hang back behind you or pull the chin in towards the chest, gaze forward. Breathing here. It will slowly come out. We bring our hands back to the low back. We sit the hips down. We open the knees as wide as feels comfortable for you. We're going to come into a child's pose. Just reach that chest forward, hands reach forward. Let the spine decompress. Let the body become nice and heavy. Wonderful. We're going to just find to come up into a seated position from here. Extending the legs out in front of us, taking one more stretch here in our head to toe. We flex the toes. Maybe you have bent knees if your hamstrings are a little bit tight here. We're going to just reach up high along with the hands. And we'll exhale, fold forward, trying to keep a nice, long, straight spine. Trying to reach the belly button for the thighs before the chest. We just lengthen here. Maybe pressing those knees straight too, if you'd rather. You can even kind of apply gentle pressure onto the tops of the thighs to kind of push straight the knee legs here. Flexing the feet for extra intensity. Maybe even squeezing the quads to help lengthen through the hamstring. Wonderful. We'll just fold here, compress a little bit more. Yes. We'll inhale, slowly come up. We're just going to come to a nice, easy seated pose here to end off our practice today. Yeah, just one last breath here together. Inhaling, reaching arms overhead, lengthening. And exhaling, bringing hands to heart center, just bowing to yourself. to your light, giving yourself thanks for showing up and doing amazing things for your heart, your mind, your body. Yeah, I hope to see you again. It's always such a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. And if you want, since I just closed practice, but maybe you still have some extra time, you're just sitting, um, feel free to take some twists. Those are always really nice. And I always usually like to close the practice off with some twists here that I didn't quite and guide through at the end like usual. So think about just taking some seated twists. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you again. Good too.